We just got to get rid of all the criminals. Anyway, speaking of somebody that isn't necessarily a criminal, but what he has been saying is very criminal, Marc Cuban, a cuck. You want to hear what Marc Cuban has been talking about recently in the news? He has been backing a bunch of left-wing politics and just shoving Kamala's dick down his mouth, even though she probably might have one, looking at her neck, actually. But going forward, let's just listen to what Marc Cuban said and realize how he is just a bumbling idiot.
When she was unable to answer the question about are you better
By the way, this guy on MSNBC or CNBC is talking about Kamala, not answering questions. Here we go.
off now than 4 years ago, I think that was illustrative.
Well, 4 years ago, literally, we're in a pandemic. It was an easy answer.
We can look at exactly what happened. He's already been president. And we can look at what happened when she was vice president. And it's not good, the comparison.
Being the president, Joe, as you know, is different than being vice president. It's not close, right?
So she can take credit for the good things that happened with Biden, but she didn't have anything to do with the bad
Donald
things.
Trump.
When she
CNBC, baby, let's go! Fuck you, Marc Cuban!
Hold his feet to the fucking fire.
Yep.
And that is not the only clip here. I'm looking, but I'm just going to keep riffing. If I can't find it, I'll search it. Here's another one right from Marc Cuban, and it's that same interview on CNBC, okay? So just listen to the bullshit he says.
In spite of that, meaning the mainstream media is not who you think it is. The mainstream media truly leans right.
What the fuck?
False.
What the fuck?
There's lie number one.
He is wrong. And notice they categorized it. There's like 4 or 5 points, right? He says the mainstream media leans right. Fucking who? Fox News is there, and then everybody else is not mainstream.
Right.
Okay. Newsmax, I guess, is maybe mainstream. That's it. What are you gonna say? Infowars on Twitter.
So riddle me this then, okay?
And
riddle me this.
I will.
If mainstream media is so far right,
fact check him.
Why has Kamala Harris declined doing the Fox News interview or doing the Fox News debate?
I don't know.
Why is she declining that?
I don't know.
But you know what she can do, Luke? She could sit there and she could call Donald Trump a coward, even though he's done 2 debates now where he has been in the minority. Meaning, you have, was it Lindsey
Davis.
Lindsey Davis in fucking, why am I blanking on this dickhead's name?
David Muir.
David Muir. You have 2 people sitting there who literally came out and said that they were in Kamala's pocket, said that they were fact-checking Trump because of the fact that he wasn't fact-checked during the Joe Biden debate. Now you have Joe Biden who's sitting here in the first debate, declining on stage. Obviously, Donald Trump is winning. It's not because he wasn't fact-checked. It was because Joe Biden was literally a dead man standing there mumbling and jumbling.
Exactly.
We can get back to this, but the fact that you want to sit here and say that they're so far right-wing, yet Kamala Harris will only do a debate when it is mainstream media. And that has nothing to do with the fact that, Kamala's a badass because they're all far right. No, it's not. It's literally... Sorry, I'm not...
No. I'm sharing my disdain with you.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well,
finish.
all I was going to say is we want to sit here and we want to say that they are all right-wing. Yet before the debate came out, there was literally statistics where 91% of the coverage on Kamala Harris... I don't know that these are correct stats, but like 91% of Kamala Harris reports and everything from whether it was ABC or... I can't exactly remember, but I know it's true. 91% of the stuff put out on, let's call it ABC, for Kamala Harris was all positive, and 94% of things reported for Donald Trump were all negative. So if you want to sit there and you want to wear your dumb fucking half turtleneck, Marc Cuban, and say that the media is right wing.
He's a fucking idiot. And then to combine that with the fact that on Morning Joe, okay, now if the right-wing media if the media was majority right-wing, they would have called Biden's age out from the get-go. They would have held his feet to the fire to the point that he would not have been able to be elected. They just would have been repeating, he has dementia, he has symptoms, he looks really bad, he's aging really bad, he does not have the cognitive ability to be the president of the United States. But the mainstream media, the left-leaning mainstream media, reported this, and they reported that instead of him being in cognitive decline, they said his age was an asset. Morning Joe Scarborough, for 3.5 years. And then, when he decided to step down, because he is dying, when he decided to step down, the mainstream media completely flipped, who is left-wing, and for 3.5 years, the candidate, Kamala Harris, the vice presidential candidate, or possible candidate for president of the United States at the time, but was not confirmed. They said how she was the worst vice president ever, how she was so bad, and on a fucking dime, they flipped, did a complete 180, in the words of Dua Lipa, who probably votes Democrat. A complete 180, and now they are saying she is the greatest thing since Obama. I guess she is the cure to cancer, Kamala Harris. So to finish off, right, I just don't think that he's correct. I think, number one, he's either fucking stupid, which he's not, he's a billionaire, or number two, the point that I think is that they have some crazy dirt on this motherfucker, so he is going to sing for the elites. That's all.
Do you think he was
You're second in command.
Maybe.
Man, you do what your boss tells you to do. He delegates authority to you.
But the border was supposed to be her.
Yeah, but it's still the same thing. It's his policies. What he said to her
That's
was,
false.
you go down and you use diplomacy to try to improve, to try to reduce the flow, the migration of people across the border, right? And when they finally came around, and it took too long, I agree, but when they finally got there, now look at the results. It didn't take a wall, but yet the crossing numbers are where Trump's were when pre-pandemic.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
I think I think it's very funny because I think Marc Cuban went on CNBC thinking this is gonna be a breeze. They're gonna be swallowing Kamala's cum just like I am.
But Shide, this is the finance department. That's a little bit different.
That is true.
Economics and finance are going to lean more to the right. And so,
especially when the left has absolutely deteriorated every financial thing. Like
exactly.
Continue. At least I'll have 3 more points.
I know.
And down at the same number. So it worked. So what she did actually worked.
We can look at exactly what happened. He's already been president, and we can look at what happened when she was vice president, and it's not good. The comparison.
Being the president, Joe, as you know, is different than being vice president. It's not close, right?
So she can take credit for the good things that happened with Biden, but she didn't have anything to do with the bad things.
Trump,
in the past, there have been Democrats that have voted not to certify.
Yeah, that's fine.
Many
right?
times.
That's fine. But
none
of them called their vice president a pussy and said, "Don't certify the election."
Well, he
Donald
said
Trump,
pussy.
being the socialist that he is, had to beat Bernie. So Donald Trump went out and recommended that interest rate caps be set to 10%. The fact that he's even suggesting price controls and price caps is socialism 101.
Oh, hold the